Welcome back, everybody. Charlie with JC3 Cards and Collectibles here with our weekly review of our sales. And we are here to focus on football this time. Ain't that right, Stu? That is right. Stu and I have been working hard listing some football, selling and packing and shipping football. We had a great Super Bowl last weekend. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on winning another Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal. I love all the debates going on about is Patrick Mahomes now the greatest quarterback ever, putting him in those conversations with Brady and Montana and Bradshaw that won multiple Super Bowls. I'm not going to weigh in on that right now. I'm not falling for that trap. But I am going to go through our football sales for the week, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us here at JC3 Cards and Collectibles. We are going to dive into our football sales for the week now. It was another strong week of football after that Super Bowl spectacular. Can't really beat a Super Bowl game. Some people complain about that game because there was strong defense, not a ton of offense. Heck, I like that. I think defense is the greatest part of the game. Do I like a big play now and then on offense? Absolutely, I do. But I also want to see great defense. Maybe that's because I'm primarily a defensive coach in the game myself at some local high schools here over the years. But I don't like a game that is lopsided either way. And I thought that game was kind of balanced with offense and defense. Both sides rose up to the occasion. It was played like a championship game should be played, right? Like, do you want to see a Super Bowl where it's 60-3? I don't think you want to see that. And then if you see a game that's 60-58, that leaves you a little flat too. If you're one of the teams, whether you're the winning team or the losing team, you're like, we gave up how many points? Like, what happened to our defense? So I thought the Super Bowl was fantastic. Happy for the Kansas City Chiefs. How about we dive into our sales now and see what we had for the week? Here we go. Just a quick breakdown. If you watched our overview for the week already, you're probably familiar with this. But you see, football was a full 27% of our sales this week. A strong number 2 after baseball, just ahead of auto racing. The Super Bowl is what pushed the football sales for the week, I believe. Baseball and auto racing both had some new card releases this week that raised their hype cycle a little bit. Football didn't have any new releases that I'm aware of, but it had the Super Bowl. And sometimes that is in and of itself enough to push those cards up, to give it that bump, if you will. So you can see really strong results in football. Let's take a look and see what cards were in those sales. Here you see pretty good selection of cards. Let's see. The oldest in here is a 1991 Topps, and the newest in here looks like a couple 2022 Panini cards in here. So really all over the board. I don't have a lot of vintage football. It's something I think I'm looking at growing into. A couple card shows ago, I picked up some 80s and 70s football. So I'm slowly getting some older offerings in there. But I'd like to get into some of that 50s and 60s as well. But just don't have the inventory yet. It's something I need to build up before I can offer that. But glad to see some older 90s cards going, not just all ultra modern stuff. So let's go through the list here. Starting off, we've got a 2008 Topps Finest Calvin Johnson Detroit Lions. You can see that up here in the upper left-hand corner. That's got a nice kind of like a foil finish on it. Gives it a little texture to that card. Gives it a nice shine. I was a huge fan of Calvin Johnson, even though the Lions are in our Packers conference and, we're usually playing against them. You have to respect a talent like Calvin Johnson. Had he continued playing, he retired young in his playing career. Had he played it out like most athletes do, I think he would hold a lot of records today. I sold that card for $3. Nice little sale on a card that I found in boxes at my local card store. Up next, upper right-hand corner, we've got a 2022 Panini Mosaic National Pride Tom Brady. Two things going for this card. One, it's Tom Brady. And I don't know if we're still calling him the GOAT, right? Because now Mahomes is in that conversation. But these National Pride cards sell pretty well. People like to be patriotic. Anything with that background seems to do pretty well. I pick them up all the time when I find them. You can get them at a reasonable price. I made the sale on this one for $2. Up next, another Tom Brady over here in the left-hand column. This is a nice horizontal image of Tom Brady in his throwing motion with the Patriots. Little hazy, snowy, foggy day, something like that there. Looks like it must have been in Foxborough, because if this, it looks like they're playing the Rams, and that doesn't look like Rams weather, unless it's smoke from fireworks, maybe. So that is a 2013 Topps Chrome, and I made that sale for $7.99. That is a really nice card to make a sale on. I don't think I spent a lot to get that card. To get an $8 return on that card was really nice. That's the kind of stuff I'm hunting for in those value boxes, things I can turn like that. So glad to see Tom Brady represented in a couple card sales this week. Up next, we have some Mahomes. We've got two Patty Mahomes cards. First, we've got a 2019 Panini Chronicles Vertex of Patrick Mahomes, and then a 2022 Panini Rookies and Stars Patrick Mahomes. Both of those sold at different price points. So the Vertex is this white card here. It's got a little bit of an embossed finish on it. There was a moment in time where I thought it might have been one of those stand-up cards, but it is not. But the outline of it was like laser etched. So it really looked like it was intended to have some movement in that card, but it's not. It's just that design. Really sharp. I made that sale for $9. Pretty good sale for a single card. And then this Rookies and Stars card is fairly common, and I was able to make that sale for $2.99. That's that Super Bowl bump on that. Do I think that card will always go for $2.99? I don't. I think, you will see some degradation in price on that, but because it was Super Bowl week, I was able to turn that for $2.99. And then here's a little bit of a surprise. Next card up is a 2022 Panini Select Draft Picks Purple Laser Prism of Taysom Hill. Kind of a cool design on that. So it's got eye appeal, right? It's shiny. It's got those laser boxes in it. Taysom Hill is an interesting NFL player in that he's a tweener. He doesn't have a true position to specialize in. He's a quarterback. He's a receiver. He's sometimes a running back. He is a super utility player. Exciting to watch if you are a Saints fan, for sure. But it's interesting that, I think in general, in the card business, QBs are king. If you look around this, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these cards. So about half of them are QBs, a little more than half, I think. Taysom Hill is not a true QB. They use him all over the field. So it's hard to judge his value is kind of what I'm getting at, because much like contract values in the NFL, position means a lot in the card business as well. So a nice little tidy sale here, $1.99, not big money, but I also didn't have that card very long. So a fast flip is kind of nice sometimes. Up next, 1999 Pacific Paramount Hollow Silver, Frank Wycheck, numbered out of 99 for the Tennessee Titans. You can see the serial number right here. It's stamped in like black typeset, not like the serial numbers in today's cards. The Frank Wycheck badge, his name, has hollow foil on it, so you can see a little bit of the color change there. Overall, it's just a clean classic card. I picked that up recently. Another fast flip on this one. I sold that for $275. I think that was from my local card shop. Actually, they had a value box I went through, and I was able to pull that one out. Up next, 2018 Sage Hit Sport Kings gum promo of Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears. I made a sale for $3 on this. It's an artist rendition. It's not an actual photo. I think I picked this up at the recent Eau Claire show. If you've watched my pickups video from the Eau Claire show, this was a sweet card. Actually, now that I think of it, this card came from friend of the show Matt, who met us at the Eau Claire show with a box of cards that weren't really his sweet spot for what he moves. So Adam and I from the Dollar Box, we split that box up, and I got this Walter Payton card. Sport Kings is a fun set. If you run across one and you're not looking to spend a lot of money, and you're like, I feel like ripping something open, but I don't want to spend a ton of money, Sport Kings is one of the high items on your list, I think. It's a multi-sport set. You will get some fringe type of sport players like pickleball and things like that. You will get some jockey and some racing cards, auto racing. You will get some oddball stuff as well at times, but I like them. I open a few blasters every year, just randomly throughout the year. I'll pick one up here and there. They're fun. This particular card was a promo card, so it actually came out of a different. It came out of Sage Hit promoting the Sport Kings Volume 4, probably. So if you see a promo card, those can often be a good flip. This particular one, I made a pretty good flip for $3, but you can find more of those pretty easily. And I want to say those boxes, you can anywhere from $15 to $20. You can get a blaster, which today is a pretty good price. So keep your eye out for those. Don't sleep on Sport Kings. There can be some surprises in there. And then up next, we've got my man Brett Favre over here in the bottom of the left-hand column. A 1997 Upper Deck Collector's Choice Brett Favre. Made the sale of that for $1.99. Pretty unassuming card. Looks like he probably just threw another touchdown. Both feet are off the ground, so he looks like he's jumping and celebrating a little bit. He's known for a jump throw, but I don't think this was, because if he was in a jump throw, this right hand of his probably would have been down by his leg or possibly even behind at that point in his jump. So I think this is a celebration jump. That is my professional analysis on that image. I feel like, I'm an investigator analyzing this now, but I think that's a touchdown celebration. Just a fun little card of Favre, not a big one, but something I was able to flip easily, $1.99 for that. Sonny Jurgensen, a 2001 Topps Gallery. I am a fan of the Topps Gallery. A lot of people don't like them. I do. Sonny was a great quarterback for the Washington Redskins at that time, Washington Commanders now. Interesting thing about the listings in eBay, you can have teams' former names. Like, I run into this with the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Indians all the time. I put the name of the club at the time this person played in my title, but then in the item specifics, they force you to choose the modern name. So in this case, the title said Washington Redskins, but the item specifics said Washington Commanders. I think that's important. I have no problem with the name change to Commanders. I understand why they did that. But historically speaking, Sonny Jorgensen never played for the Washington Commanders. If you are a 70-year-old man who says, oh, man, Sonny Jorgensen was one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen, I wonder if I can find a card for him. You're going to look for Washington Redskins. You're not going to look for Washington Commanders. That's speculation and opinion on my part, but I think it's important that you have the name of the team at the time they are known for playing somewhere in a searchable field. And the title does that for me. I certainly understand eBay's policy of, well, in item descriptions, this team is now the Washington Commanders. And the reason that name change happened was for social consciousness reasons. So I understand that. I have no argument with that. But if you don't list the old name, I think it limits your ability to sell that item because people know them with that name. So Sonny, I made a nice little sale here. I sold that for $1.99. I didn't have much invested in that as a card show pickup. I was happy to get $1.99 for that. I make a nice little profit, not much, but a little bit. Helps me understand intel on what the market's like for someone like Sonny Jorgensen. And then we have a 1991 Topps Michael Irvin of the Dallas Cowboys. This is an interesting one because it is, first of all, it's horizontal. And then it looks like number 21 of the Atlanta Falcons. I can't really tell in this image. My eyes are not that great. But the 21 that I know for the Atlanta Falcons was Deion Sanders, who played at the same time as Irvin. That might be Deion Sanders. I can't tell. What I can see, I do not think that's Deion, but I can't tell. Even under my magnifying glass, I looked at it, I couldn't tell. But I knew that at least that creates some interest in this card. I did not put anything about Deion in the listing because I could not tell if that was him. I just put Michael Irvin in the listing, and I sold this for $2. I think I had it listed a little more. I think this might have been a negotiated offer that I took. Well, no, because it says it's not flagged for sold via best offer. So I guess I did list this at $2. I know early on I listed things at even dollar amounts. A couple months ago, I started using the 99-cent price points, $1.99, $2.99, etc. An argument was made to me that, hey, if you're searching for cards, a lot of times you put a price cap on what you're looking for. And if they put in, under $2 or something like that, you want to be at $1.99. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it was a passionate enough argument that I bought in. So I've started using those 99 cents on my price points. And I know that's been a retail strategy for many, many years. You go into a store, everything ends with the number 9. Why? Because it feels better to get something for less than $2 as $1.99 would be. Even though it's 1 cent under, you can be like, I got this for less than $2. That's a psychological retail strategy. And who am I to argue with it? So this looks like it was an older listing where I went with $2. But a little tip for your listings, there's a whole school of thought that you want to be in those $1.99, $1.49, ending in those 9s. So you're a little bit under that next dollar. And then the last card of the day, 2020 Panini Mosaic Flea Flicker from the Denver Broncos. We got a combo card here with 3 greats, John Elway, Terrell Davis, and Ed McCaffrey. Ed McCaffrey, of course, father of current NFL superstar Christian McCaffrey. You can see that here in the bottom right corner. Nice profile shots of all 3 players. You've got Davis on the left. You've got Elway in the middle, cocked his cannon, ready to throw. And you've got McCaffrey on the right, making a football move to complete the catch, if you will. Nice little three player card. I like these when there's at least 2 out of the 3 players that are pretty well known. If you don't have at least 2, they can be kind of hard to sell. In this case, I had 3 pretty well known players for the Denver Broncos. I would argue that Terrell Davis and John Elway are pretty popular with any NFL fan. Ed McCaffrey, I think, is more of a home team hero of true fans of the Broncos. But I felt like I had a good collection of players here. I should have no trouble moving that. That sold for $2.48, and you can see I took a best offer on that. We negotiated back and forth a little bit on that one, and I ended up letting it go for $2.48. All right, so those are our cards for the week. Like I said, nice selection. We've got a variety of years, or a variety of brands, little bit of everything here. Quarterbacks did rule the day, and pretty strong Chiefs showing in here as well with a couple Patrick Mahomes cards. Just a nice week of sales overall for football cards. So that's going to be it for us on this edition of What's Selling with Stu. Looking at our football cards here. Up next, I think we're going to be going through our auto racing cards. If you want to check that out, we'll have a little link right here for you to take a shortcut to that link and go right into our auto racing sales. You'll see some NASCAR and F1, lots of F1 because of the new release this week. So until next time, this is me and Stu saying